Thierry Paulin, aged 25, was a notorious serial killer in Paris, known as the Monster of Montmartre, the killer of elderly women, and the Grim Reaper of Paris. Active in the 1980s, he specifically targeted elderly women in the Montmartre area, claiming between 18 to 21 victims. The case began in 1984 in Paris, when Anna Barbier's family found her dead in her home at the age of 81. The police discovered evidence of a robbery, with 300 francs stolen, which was approximately $30. Though the small amount puzzled them, the theory was that the robber was caught in the act and killed her to prevent her from informing the police. The lack of substantial evidence only indicated the cause of death: battery and strangulation. On the same day, the police received another call from Germaine, 91, who recounted a similar story. Someone had broken into her house, stole a small amount, and tried to kill her. Living in the same vicinity as Anna, she was too terrified to cooperate with the police. With insufficient evidence in Anna's case and Germaine too frightened to help, the police had no leads on who could have committed the heinous acts. 4 days later, they received an arson report, with a victim, Suzanne, aged 89, found in her apartment with a plastic bag over her head, indicating strangulation, along with a small amount of money and a clock stolen. Throughout the month, the police continued to discover 8 more victims in the same area, with 2 found on the same day. The brutality of the crimes escalated, with one victim found with wastewater in her stomach and another stabbed. Despite the escalating violence, the pattern of small robberies and strangulations remained. The only concrete evidence they had was a fingerprint, but identifying a suspect through fingerprints alone was challenging without a match. They tried matching it with all prisoners in Paris, but to no avail. A year later, the police reduced their vigilance and paused the investigation due to a lack of evidence, but the killer resurfaced once more. The second wave continued up to the 14th victim, prompting the police to redeploy their patrols. Ironically, Thierry, the killer, had been imprisoned on drug charges and was under their noses for a year and a half. Due to the failure to match the initial fingerprints with those of new prisoners, the third wave commenced post his release. He resumed his killing spree, but this time the police responded more swiftly. On the day the 17th victim was found, they intensified patrols. Thierry attempted to kill 2 more victims, but one survived and provided a detailed description: a young man in his 20s of mixed race with curly hair, wearing an earring in his left ear. After publishing Thierry's description and following the death of the 18th victim, one of the officers recognized him during a patrol and arrested him. Despite Thierry's continuous denials, the police were sure it was him due to the consistent description and matching fingerprints.